know exactly how or when we will get there, but Baha'u'llah has made it clear where we're going. Ultimately, the processes at work will lead to a peaceful society in which all of humanity understand that we are one people and act accordingly. We will eliminate racism. We will eliminate extreme nationalism, gender discrimination, extremes of wealth and poverty, and all forms of oppression, injustice, and tyranny. We will institute universal education, a universal auxiliary language, and a world federal government that benevolently regulates the affairs of humanity. And what is the role of America in all of this? The son of Baha'u'llah, Abdul Baha, says, "The continent of America is, in the eyes of the one true God, the land wherein the splendors of his light shall be revealed, where the mysteries of his faith shall be unveiled, where the righteous will abide and the free will assemble." And Baha'u'llah, in his most holy book, the Kitab-i-Aqdas, he wrote to the chief magistrates of the entire American continent, bidding them to bind with the hands of justice the broken, crush the oppressor with the rod of the commandments of their Lord. So we have some very specific instructions from Baha'u'llah. And even more specifically, he wrote to the great Republic of the West, which he proclaims to be worthy of being the first to build the tabernacle of the most great peace and proclaim the oneness of mankind, to be equipped and empowered to accomplish that which will adorn the pages of history, to become the envy of the world and be blessed in both the East and the West. The Baha'i writings state that America, in particular the United States, has a leading role to play in the erection of this world peaceful society. Abdul Baha says, "May this American democracy be the first nation to establish the foundation of international agreement. May it be the first nation to proclaim the unity of mankind. May it be the first to unfurl the standard of the most great peace. The American nation is equipped and empowered to accomplish that which will adorn the pages of history, to become the envy of the world and be blessed in the East and the West. The American continent gives signs and evidences of very great advancement. Its future is even more promising, for its influence and illumination are far-reaching. It will lead all nations spiritually." Now, Shoghi Effendi, always the pragmatist, he says, "Delays must inevitably arise. Setbacks must be suffered in the course of that country's evolution towards its ultimate destiny. Nothing, however, can alter eventually the course ordained for it. Such an evolution must persist until such time when that nation will, through the active and decisive part it will have played in the organization and peaceful settlement of the affairs of mankind, have attained the plenitude of its functions as an outstanding member and component part of a federated world." And Shoghi Effendi also says, "However severe the storms that may buffet it in the days to come in either hemisphere, that great republic will continue to evolve, undivided and undefeatable, until the sum total of its contributions to the birth, the rise, and the fruition of that world civilization will have been made and its last task discharged." So, the bottom line of this is, don't be scared. This is a phase that we're going through, and we know where we're going to end up. And as Americans, we have a very special role to play in that, spiritual role to play. So it's nice and it's reassuring to have this perspective, and at the same time we might ask ourselves individually, what can I do right now today? So, because since we're not involved in politics, right now we're not going to be involved with America leading the world into a world federal government. We're not going to be playing a direct role with that at the moment. But as individuals and communities, we do have something that we can be working on. So we can work to improve our own spiritual lives, and we can put these principles into action, the ones that we talked about before: justice, the elimination of prejudice, universal education. So the Baha'is worldwide, including here in the United States, including here in Tacoma, under the guidance of our international governing body, the Universal House of Justice, we're engaging our neighbors in a grassroots effort to spiritually empower our communities. And maybe during the discussion, the Baha'is here can share a little bit about how that's going. So there's a systematic process of education and spiritual community which is being developed and implemented, and it includes neighborhood interfaith prayer gatherings and service-oriented education for children, youth, and adults. And this process, if you consider it, it stands in direct contrast to the conflict-oriented activism, which is popular in this country today. So how can we make a difference in society without buying into this idea that the only way to make a difference is to fight with people? There are other ways to operate. Would it not be more powerful, for example, to assist a young person and ultimately an entire community to see themselves as empowered to make a difference in their community and the world through service to others? And this is exactly what is happening in Baha'i children's classes and junior youth groups, study circles, and devotional gatherings. People are becoming empowered to make a difference through service with a spiritual perspective. I have an example of this from DC, and I'm wondering maybe it might be more interesting to hear an example from Tacoma. Is there an example of something, in one of your neighborhood activities that you've seen that's made a difference in terms of fostering community, empowering people, fostering justice, making a difference? Does somebody have a very brief example to share? I see a hand in the back. Can you stand up so that your voice will carry?
She needs a partner too. Some of the things that us as a community is we would do outings.
Come step in here where we can hear you better.
Yeah, we can't hear
Come
you.
here. Come step forward here. That's okay.
Or you can yell.
See, Georgia. See,